What's up, guys? You are just in time. We're back. Better quality, better takes, better pizza, Papa John's. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, though, we're back. I got my camera fixed. I got the quality fixed. I got the takes that you want. Today, we're talking about the most traded players in the last 48 hours and who would I trade for, trade away, and hold on to. Let's jump right into it. So, this right here is the list of players that's been traded in the last 48 hours. Some people have been traded for, obviously. Some people have been traded away, so to speak. But this is my take on these players. Some of the players that I would trade for on this list is Travis Etienne. Depending on where you drafted him at, probably the third round for most people. He's been somewhat of a disappointment to you, but there's not a lot of running backs that's going to give you 15 to 20 touches on a week-to-week basis. Tank Bixby is not going to take his spot. I don't care how disappointing he is. Tank Bixby is not going to take his spot unless obviously there's an injury. You don't have to worry about that. 15 to 20 touches a game, and that's hard to find at the running back position. I think that you can buy low on Travis Etienne. Things are going to get better. This team is obviously not going to go winless, so you can buy low on Travis Etienne and trade for him. Another player that I'm trading for is Tyreek Hill. Right now, just like Jalen Waddle, I spoke about in my last week's video, he is at an all-time low, and I really don't think it can get any worse, especially if you're a Tyreek Hill owner. Yes, he's had a couple of bad games. He still has the ability to go for an 80-yard bomb on any given play. So he could be an asset to you and your fantasy team. But again, players who have him have been disappointed. They pretty much got one good week out of their first round pick. And to some players, not only a first round draft pick, but the first overall pick in certain leagues. So he definitely has been a disappointment when it comes to that. And players who've had him pretty much are at a point where they just want to get rid of him. Tua is going to come back. It's looking like he's got a couple more weeks before he comes back. Just hold off. And again, what you have to trade for him, you probably won't have to give up much, especially if he's on a 1-3 team or an 0-4 team. They're panicking right now. This is your chance. Jump on Tyreek Hill. Josh Jacobs is also someone that you can really get right now. Josh Jacobs is someone who's been somewhat of a disappointment the last few weeks because of the offensive struggles with them having to start Malik Willis. But again, this is someone I would trade for. And again, good days are going forward for the Josh Jacobs. Look at his next four opponents: the Rams, the Jaguars, the Cardinals, and the Texans. Better days are ahead for Josh Jacobs. And last but not least, I want to trade for Terry McLaurin. Last week, I did tell you that I want to see a little bit more of Terry McLaurin. I want to see what he can do. He had a big game, and I want to see a little more of it. Well, he did just that. We did get to see a little bit more, and we're seeing this Washington offense progress and starting to become, in all honesty, a top 5 offense in the NFL, which is crazy to think about, but it's happening. The numbers are there. It also helps that their defense are completely terrible, so they're having to score the ball and continuously throw the ball to stay in games. But Jaden Daniels got them on the right trajectory. So do I want the number one receiver in a top 5 offense? Yes. Trade for Terry McLaurin. Some players that I want to trade away, a lot of these players are going to be not only having a disappointing season, but players that you can still get some value for, strictly based off of name value. Garrett Wilson and Brandon Ayuk. Garrett Wilson is disgruntled. He is not really happy with his offense and not really happy with the production and the positions that they're putting him in this offense. And we already know that the trades rumors are circulating. Devonta Adams is going to the Jets. He might be traded to him by the time it's recorded. Who knows? But at the end of the day, he is disgruntled. I don't see it getting much better. He might get traded away. Who knows? But just like Tyreek Hill, the Garrett Wilson owner is pretty much fed up with him at this point. He cost him a second round pick, and you're not getting anything for him. I am that disgruntled owner. I want to get rid of him. I don't see it getting much better. Aaron Rodgers is there. He's played every single game. He's been healthy. The whole offense has been healthy. They still look terrible. So I don't see it getting much better, especially if they trade for Devontae Adams. What does that do to Garrett Wilson's value? So I'm trading away to Garrett Wilson as soon as possible. Same thing with Brandon Ayuk. What you had to spend for him, he hasn't given you much, if anything, this fantasy season. And you can still get something based off of name value. It seemed like the efficiency that he had last year that he was able to bank on because he couldn't get volume is not going to help him this year. He's not getting those long bombs. Those seem to be going to Jauan Jennings. I'm not saying Jauan Jennings is a down the field threat for the San Francisco 49ers, but so far, that's what's going on. So again, trade Brandon Ayuk if possible. Xavier Worthy, I'm going to trade him away simply because a lot of people think he has value right now because Rashee Rice is out for extended period of time. So they think, okay, he's going to be the number one receiver. Xavier Worthy is never going to be the possession receiver. He's never going to be the guy that's going to get 15 targets in a game. He's a gadget receiver. He's a guy that's going to give you big plays over the top. He is a Rashid Shaheed light. Big plays here and there, extremely boom and bust. That's not something I want from a fantasy team. So right now, when his value is at an all-time high, trade him away, see what you can get for him. J.K. Dobbins has come back down to earth. We've seen what he can do when he doesn't get a touchdown. He's disappointing for fantasy. I'm not really fond of this offense. J.K. Dobbins is still the workhorse at the end of the day. So, yes, he's going to get you anywhere between 13 and 20 attempts a game. But again, if he's not giving you that touchdown, you're going to be dissatisfied because he's not giving you anything in a passing. So if he's giving you, 15 to 20 attempts for 43 yards, that's not going to cut it. A couple of players I want to hold because I need to see a little bit more, or I need to see something else progress, is obviously Davante Adams. This subject is a little touchy for me. Being a Raiders fan, he's no longer on our team, so it is what it is. He's obviously going to get traded away. So at this point, it just depends on where he goes. His value could go up, it could go down. So again, I'm not going to trade him away. I'm going to hold on to him just in case. So again, I'm going to hold on to Davante Adams and see what, where the chips may fall. Regardless if he does or not, he's going to be the #1 alpha wherever he goes. And if it's a better quarterback position, his fantasy value is going to go up. And Drake London, I'm going to hold. It just feels like this Atlanta offense is, still leaving a lot of meat on the bone. It feels like they're getting better and better, but there's still a lot of potential in this offense. Drake London, at the end of the day, is still the #1 wide receiver for Kirk Cousins. He's getting anywhere between 10 and 15 targets a game, and that's something that you can live with. He's giving you a high floor. He hasn't really hit his ceiling yet. I want to hold on to him, and I need to see a couple more games and see what's going on with this Atlanta offense. So that's it for today's video. I'll see you next week. Thanks for following along. We'll see you next time.